I've been asked by a couple of people to explain how we're heating the house here at Wind Ridge Homestead, and the simple answer is right there in the middle of a logging operation around the property, and that represents about a third of what is going to be cut. We've got trees that are way too close to the property, and that's going to be heating the house. We do have a 500-gallon LP tank backup for the furnace. Here we've got our wood shed, and out here is the outdoor forced air wood stove. It's not a boiler, there's no water involved. We've got some stored wood in here. We've got a nice trap door by which to bring wood in, and we've got some typical things you'd see with a wood furnace: a bellows, a poker. We've got a firewood carrier to bring the wood in, although I use the trap door to throw it in. Then I stack it here and here. As far as stacking the wood close to the furnace, let's see what the temperature is right down here. So it's insulated enough that I don't have to worry about the wood stacked here igniting. The same thing here. Even though this is a hot pipe, I am looking at low temperature, so I don't have to worry about this wood igniting, being right next to it. It's warm in this room if I look at the wall. So it's very warm in here. If I ever need to come and warm up, this is the place to come. And we've got our splitting axe, a hatchet for kindling, a little bit of kindling and some paper, dustpan. But this is the furnace. Right now we've got a nice bed of coals. So a conventional in the home furnace would plumb out and go up into your house from the basement. In this one, it's been modified. It comes from the side, so the heat leaves the side, goes down underground, travels about 30 feet to where that watering can is, and that pipe is buried about 3 feet underground. This is the cold air return, which goes around to the back. Then there's a blower back here. So we're taking the cold air, about 58-degree air, from the basement floor, bringing it through the cold air. This furnace then heats it and sends it into the house. So let's get a look at what we are for temperature wise. In the upper 170s coming out of the wood stove. Then it has to travel underground, and like I said, about 30 feet, go all the way under the frozen ground. But this little room has a thermostat in it, and here's a spare one right here. When that thermostat reaches 140 degrees in this room, it tells the blower to turn on. And when the temperature drops below that, the blower turns off, so I'm not pumping cold air. In case the fire went out, I'm not pumping cold air into the house, so it's thermostatically controlled. Let's go look at what it looks like in the basement. Oh, and this is our backup generator. I've got a 12 kilowatt peak, 9 running generator that will feed the whole house. It'll run the blower for the furnace, and it'll do the entire house as well. We've got some firewood in here. We've got a kindling room there. Yes, I can split here by hand, but I've got a wood splitter It makes life a little bit easier. So let's go look in the basement at how it's plumbed and what the temperatures are after traveling 30 feet under the frozen ground. Alright, here we are in the furnace room in the basement. Here is where the cold air return is for the wood stove. It comes through the wall about 3 feet underground. In the summertime I take that pipe off and I can cap it with this. And right next to it is where the hot air comes in, also underground. And it goes out this wall and then gets plumbed into the cold air return. This short duct is the cold air return for the conventional furnace. And let's see how hot this is. So the air coming in from underground is 127 degrees. The air that it's getting at the floor is 58 degrees. So that's the air being sucked into that's the cold air return going back outside into the wood stove, and then it's heated and brought into here. So the blower is running all the time for the furnace. I have the blower on and it's taking the air from the hot pipe from the wood stove, bringing it through the filter, and then blowing that air up into the house. Now let's look at the differential in temperatures between in and out. It's almost midday, it's 24 outside, 69 inside. So the wood furnace is able to keep us pretty warm. As you can see, there's a lot of wood down that the loggers haven't yet picked up, and there's a lot more to be cut, and that will be used to heat us in the coming years. And the wildlife love the logging, the deer especially. They get to eat all the goodies. Here we've got a deer and a turkey. That's how our forced air wood furnace that is outside keeps us warm at Wind Ridge Homestead.